Hey, what's up? This is Kevin from Kevin's Barbecue Joints, and in this episode I talked to Stan Hayes from Operation Barbecue Relief. We, of course, get into how he started it, how he co-founded it, what they do today, all the different things they do today. But most importantly, please check the link below. We'll have information on how to donate, how to become part of it, how to either get involved monetarily or on a volunteer level. But also, too, there's a link to CNN Heroes, which ends on December 12th. Stan Hayes is up for a CNN Hero, and if he does win, they will get $100,000 for Operation Barbecue Relief, which is really cool, which will really help out a lot. So I do hope you like it. If you do like what you see, please subscribe, but please enjoy this. Well, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. What's your day look like today?
Actually, the day before Thanksgiving, me and some friends get together and cook and have some drinks and just have a little. We call it the Thanksgiving Festivus for us, and we're gonna, two rules. One is that you can cook your Thanksgiving turkey, but there is nothing Thanksgiving-ish that we cook that day.
Okay.
And then two is that you just got to have fun. You got to be there to have fun, and so everybody comes, brings something new, something to try, and it'll be a lot of fun. We'll see. We're adding fryers this year.
Oh, really?
To the mix, so we'll have smokers, we'll have fryers, we'll have grills.
Oh, wow.
So,
but that's today or that's tomorrow? You're setting up for
No, that's today.
Okay.
We'll actually be kicking off about 3:00. That way, some of the guys that have to work today can get here, and I can also get some stuff done before it gets too late.
Excellent. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, and that's like a nice pre-Thanksgiving festivus, I guess.
Yeah.
So what's your background? Were you involved with barbecue your whole life, or what did you do prior to barbecue?
So I've always loved barbecue, but I started competing probably about 10 years ago.
Okay.
With a friend who's one of the other co-founders of the organization. Who his name's Jeff Stith. Jeff's not active with the organization at this time. It hasn't been for several years, but that's how I got my start, was to go out with him on my first competition.
Okay.
To see whether or not I even would like it, and just fell in love with it. Fell in love with the people, and just the competition.
Which competition was that? Do you remember?
Oh, it was, I don't even remember the name of it. It was in Warsaw, Missouri, down by Lake of those. And it was just a small contest, but, met a lot of new people, and had slept like maybe an hour that night.
Of course.
But it was something that I just love to, get into, and that's how I started.
What were you doing prior to that? What were you doing at the same time? Were you?
Oh, I'd been moving around. I have a corporate job, and so it was really about, doing something that, I could get out, meet people, see, and have some fun competing with something.
And for people that don't understand that world or don't know that world, it's pretty special. And were you competing a lot that first year or first couple of years, or?
The first couple of years, I would go out, and really, I was, I was a helper. I mean, pit and everything else for them, and learning the ropes, figuring out, what we needed to do, how to do it, and everything. And so it was really about. I did that off and on, probably only 3 to 4 contests a year.
Okay.
Until 2011, when I started my own barbecue team.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So that's County Line Smokers?
Yes, sir.
And then how did you gather all those guys? Were those guys that you had met through competition, or?
Actually, County Line Smokers is my family.
Oh, it is your family. Okay.
Yeah, it's my wife and my 2 kids, and we've competed as a team. We have some friends that have come out and helped us over the years.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And compete with us. But it's primarily, it's a family-based thing. It's an activity that the whole family got involved with, and the kids love to cook and do kids competitions, and my wife liked to get out and be part of it, and so it just became something that as a family we could do.
Well, that's perfect, and that's ideal. That's what you would hope for is that your family would want to be involved with something like that, and it's a great opportunity to spend some quality time. Like, that's really great time to spend with them too. Operation Barbecue Relief. How did that? What was the impetus for that?
So after the tornado hit Joplin, Missouri, the morning after, as I was getting ready for work, my wife was like, "Hey, you should go." And I was joking, like, "Yeah, I'm late. I need to get to work. Yada." And she said, "No. You should go to Joplin and get the barbecue guys and go feed them." And as I left my house that morning and I was driving, I was like, she's right. And by the time I made it about 3 miles, I was on the phone with Jeff and said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And he was like, "Man, I was thinking what we could do." And I said, why not go set up and find a parking lot? We can go feed a few thousand people over the next couple of days, and let's see what we can do. And so the idea was, hey, let's get our barbecue friends and go down there and see if we can serve 4,000 or 5,000 meals over the next three to 4 days. That would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be huge.
And when you think about it, who's better to go set up in a lot and with minimal needs than a bunch of barbecue guys that do it any given weekend?
Oh, exactly.
So we thought we could make this happen, and that's how it started. I mean, Jeff was on social media getting people to go. I was finding a location. I was working out some logistics.
This is 2011.
2011, yeah, May of 2011.
Okay.
And what was going to be 4 or 5 days ended up being 11 days. What was going to be what we thought would be 4,000 or 5,000 meals ended up being 120,000 meals.
Whoa.
And about I don't remember. I think it was about day 3. We were sitting there as a group late in the evening talking, and there was some different groups that had come in to help, and some of them had been down in Louisiana after Katrina,
okay,
and said, there was nothing like this. We did a lot of stuff, but nothing this organized. I mean, we weren't organized. We were a bunch of barbecue guys sitting there just doing what we knew how to do, and that was cook a bunch of pork and get it out there to people. And we ended up realizing that at the time there's a disaster that happens, something of that magnitude, there is a gap between the time the large self-sustaining organizations can come in that are going to be there for months, and the local nonprofits, the local churches, the local civic groups get their feet back underneath them.
That's
to
true.
where they can. And those days where there's a gap, people aren't getting a good hot meal. And so that's what our mission became, was, to provide that hot meal. But it was, if you read our mission statement, it's not really, it doesn't say to provide a hot meal. It says provide, compassion and hope and friendship during a time of need through,
for sure,
through barbecue. And it's really, because you think about it, barbecue is just a comfort food in itself.
Oh yeah.
Not that it's good nourishment, during that time.
And then from there is that so that was your first one. But then what? So then after that, how did you guys build to? Did you start going out on social media and saying, "Hey, I want to start this organization," or was it just people heard word of mouth and thought, "Hey, I want to join you guys and help out for any kind of situation"? It's amazing how it grew.
Yeah. So back then, your Facebook, you got to see what you wanted to see, and we were able to start growing it through social media, through just grassroots efforts of people, a lot of volunteers, a lot of people with passion that saw what we did and wanted to be part of it, and over time, we still hit a few small disasters, over the into 2012, got our 501c3 status in early 2012.
Okay.
And at that point, we really didn't look back. It was just, continued forward, Hurricane Sandy happened, and we were there. 2 years almost to the day was Moore, Oklahoma. So, you looking at the watershed moments. So, last year in Hammond, Louisiana, we served over 300,000 meals in like 13 days. And, in one day served over 30,000 meals. So we've been getting better. We improve upon our systems.
The logistics of that is just, it's mind blowing.
It is, but if you think about it, you know what your capacity of one large old hickory pit is.
For sure.
And in a day you can put out 6,000 meals from that one pit.
Okay.
Then you calculate, okay, how many pits do I need, to do that? And how many volunteers is optimal to run those pits, then to do the other things. And those big disasters where we become a distribution center, essentially, we have two different groups going. We have a group that's there doing the protein, and then we have a group that's doing nothing but sides.
Wow.
And because,
it makes sense.
This year, even bigger with the hurricanes, both Harvey and Irma, going into August, we'd served just over 18,000 meals for the year because there really hadn't been much.
True.
And then, we turn around and do another almost 550,000 meals from there through those two disasters, and then going up to the wildfires in Northern California.
With something like a hurricane, you could semi pre-plan, right? Like you knew, hey, we're gonna.
It much more so than a tornado. I mean, we have a idea of where it's going to hit. We have an idea of what's going to happen, right?
Who's going to be affected?
It may not be that we know it's going to be Houston or we know it's going to be Louisiana, New Orleans, but we know it's going to hit Louisiana or we know it's going to hit here. And so we're able to pre-position and plan a little bit better than what we can with.
And the fires up north.
Yeah. Fires are, a different animal in themselves. I mean, first of all, you've got the aspect of you're bringing fire to a fire.
That's true.
And the perception there by many has been, we just don't want you. It doesn't matter what it is. But this was our third wildfire we've done, in 6.5 years. And doing it, I think we showed a lot of people, look, first of all, we cook with highly efficient, smoker. The old hickory pits we're using, you load those up with 800 pounds of meat. You're using propane, which is one of the cleanest burning energies that we have. And you might put 4 sticks of wood in there for the whole cooking process.
That's true.
So the thought of, it's a closed oven type system that, it is very safe, but it also is not putting out a ton of smoke. We're not billowing smoke out or anything like that. And so I think, for what it is, we continue to improve, and we want to be able to do and help as many people that are affected from disasters as possible.
So do you personally go out to almost all the disaster sites or now?
No, I don't. I mean, I work behind the scenes on every one of them, whether it's on the logistics, the marketing aspect of it, the storytelling aspect of what's happening, whether that's with our partners, media, whatever. But the big ones, I go to as many as I can. I still have a corporate job. I still have to take care of that business. So it makes it difficult because you run up on, balancing your vacation time with family and your work.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I go to as many as I can. I mean, the last 2 years I've been at every major one, with the exception of I didn't make it down to Florida. By the time I was going to go down to Florida towards the end, we were able to, we had enough volunteers that were coming in that they didn't need me. And if they would have, I certainly would have been there. But, it was one of those that, hey, save it, which was good because then a couple weeks later I'm going to Northern California.
So how does it work for people to get involved? What can people do? What can you suggest? Is it donations? Is it their time?
Sure. So as I tell people, there's always three ways that you can help. The first is that you can volunteer your time. It doesn't mean that you're volunteering your time. Some people can't get up and go at a minute's notice. So it could be volunteer with what you're good at. Maybe you're good at social media. Maybe you're in marketing. Maybe you're a writer. That's what you should be looking at, because we know not everybody can travel.
For sure.
Not everybody can pick up, but a lot of people have time in evenings, weekends that they can donate, a few hours to help the organization. The second is donation. There's so many ways to do it, whether it's, a one-time donation. You can go to our website, you can set up a monthly. So, you don't have, you want to give $200, but you don't have $200, go set it up and give, $10, $12 a month, whatever, $15 a month, and make it easier. It helps us because then we can also budget, what we're doing during the time,
that makes sense.
And we know what money's coming in. And then, there's things through many people have, through their corporate jobs have matching. So their company will match the donation that they make and things like that to look at. So we tell people to look at what's available in their company. And then, lastly, if you work for a company that is in an industry that could be beneficial to us, whether it's here's the thing is there's not too many of them that these days we aren't involved with, whether it's logistics or, if you work for a company that makes number 10 cans of, vegetables and stuff, we need to talk, because that's one of our greatest needs right now. We've got a lot of sponsors and partners out there today, on the meat side and the smoker side and things like that. There's definitely some needs that we can still pull in. And then, many corporations have foundations.
Oh, for sure.
Have the ability to, just want to, they want to see their people out there volunteering. We've had many of our sponsors bring out. We had Farmers Insurance brought out over 100 people, 2 days in a row, bust them in to Houston.
Oh, that's fantastic.
To help out. And so, it's one of those things that you it's not only them supporting us financially, but it's also them supporting us with resources.
Well, that's incredible. That's amazing. So what partners do you guys have, or which ones would you like to let people
Sure.
know that are involved with you guys?
Well, Old Hickory Pits is, it's the official pit of Operation Barbecue Relief. It's an amazing smoker, but it's, the family behind it is even more amazing. We have Blue Rhino, who's been with us for years now, and they provide the fuel for the Old Hickories. We have Sunbelt Rentals. They're providing the power, the forklifts, the cooling fans during some of these hot deployments. Seaboard Foods, known as Prairie Fresh brand in the supermarkets, has donated the majority of the pork product over the last 2 years. And a new one come on is Butterball. Butterball has some amazing, not just turkey breasts that or whole turkeys, but they have a suite of products that are extremely good to use, and we're working more and more to figure out how to incorporate those products. So we have more of a variety as we're out there. So, Farmers Insurance, like I mentioned, has been with us since the day we were in Joplin. We set up next to them in Joplin, and they've been a supporter since. So that's the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm forgetting some.
If you want, I'm going to put links in the show notes. So if there's anybody that you did forget, I'll make sure I put that. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you guys?
The best way is just to email, information or info@operationbbqrelief.org. If you want to get involved in some way, that's the best way to do it. Is just email us. There's a group of us that get those emails, so we can direct it to the right person.
And then they can just go to the operationbbqrelief.org to get to.
Right.
You could set up a donation, a monthly or
Yep.
a one-time donation.
There's a big on there. There's a big volunteer button. A couple of other things are, there's they have a volunteer app that we're doing quite a bit of work on. We've used it in with some testing in this year with some of the disasters, and we're making some improvements in this off season. But it's going to be a huge tool where people can, see what events are happening during disaster, be able to say, yes, I'm available in that time slot. And we're going to be able to also push messages to the people. So that's horizon for us. And then, if I didn't say right now, one of the biggest things that people can do to help is go to cnnheroes.com and vote for Operation Barbecue Relief. Click my name. And, if we win that, that's $100,000. And it costs people nothing, few minutes of time to vote for us. And they could help us, potentially get $100,000.
Well, I'll mention that in my intro, and I'll also put that at the very top of the show notes, so that way people can start voting. When does the voting close?
December 12th.
Okay. All right. I'll make sure I try to get this up as soon as possible.
Yeah, it will be the live show will be December 17th from New York. And we'll be there, to find out whether or not, every of the top 10, everyone gets to go. Everyone gets recognized, and then one of us will be named CNN Hero of the Year for 2017, and get that $100,000 that goes with it.
Well, that's fantastic, and I wish you all the luck, and I'll make sure that I actually voted yesterday.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and again, it's not like it takes a lot of time, and the friends sharing that with friends and telling our story is that grassroots effort that we need out there.
And we'll try to get people in the barbecue industry to retweet that. And is that on Barbecue Operation Relief, the Twitter feed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the Twitter feed. It's on our Instagram. It's on our Facebook. We're everywhere right now. It's got the links to go in there and vote.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for what you're doing. And I've always, from a distance, marveled at what you guys do. And I don't know if everyone, hopefully with this, people will get a better idea too of what you guys do and how important it is to get involved.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, Kevin.
Hey, thank you, and have a happy Thanksgiving and a happy Festivus today.
All right.
All right. You take care.